Welcome back to another In a Nutshell review, and these are my thoughts and opinions on how horrible Elden Ring is. I'm kidding. Absolutely fantastic awesomeness of the open world. It's just, they did a beautiful job. It looks awesomely beautiful. I think FromSoft did a great job with how things look and the aspects of it. I think they did just a 10 out of 10. Fantastic. It looks awesome. Next, let's talk about the builds. Oh my gosh, the variety of builds in this game that you can do is absolutely great. We'll also be talking about that in the negatives as well. If you want to be a big shield boy, you can. Do you want to rearrange and wear a bucket on your head and wear no clothes and roll around? You can. Do you want to use only magic spells? You can. And it's all viable with almost everything in the game. Except a goose. You can't be a goose. Next, the bosses. The majority of the big, I'm talking like the major great enemy felled bosses are absolutely designed fun, and they take some getting used to and being able to actually learn the things, and it's absolutely great. I had so much fun with it, and I think they did a great job. The exploration, and now this ties into the open worldness. I think they did a great job with the exploration, but a little more on that in the negative section. But to be honest, I enjoyed it. I could just get lost collecting things, finding things, and I did a lot of the time. That's part of the reason what took me so long to finish this game. And more on that is the weapon variety. The variety of weapons. You have big swords, small swords, daggers, bows, crossbows, different staves, knives, shields, giant shields that you can ram into people. It goes into the builds and it's just great. Absolutely great. First and foremost, the scope of the map I think is just way too big. There's so many empty spaces and it's just so open sometimes that it gets lost in translation. Things get lost in translation and you're trying to figure out what the heck's going on here. It's just too big. Some of the non-great enemy felled bosses end up being reused, and I've talked about this in several games. A lot of times developers do this, and I understand, but honestly, I think it takes away from the victories of you getting over those bosses when later in the game you see them, they're just a standard enemy. It's like, oh, well, crap. But there's a lot of open world games who do that. And then there's that one particular boss. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. That one particular boss. And for my build that I got, I wanted to take a minute or two to talk about this. I found a great shield at the start of the game, and I do believe I talked about this in my first initial video for the first half of the game I played. I wanted to use a shield. I had never used a shield in FromSoft games, and I tailored my build around a shield. And this boss recovers HP by hitting the shield, and honestly, I had to rethink my whole build, and that shouldn't be necessary. And I know a lot of people are not going to like, hey, well, then you should just choose something else. I didn't know that this boss existed. I went totally blind into this game, and I stayed blind as best as I could. Did nobody test this with a build like this? And if they did, is it just so they can laugh at people? It makes no sense to me. No sense to me. Another thing I want to talk about, and I know a lot of people love this, is the very nature of how horrible the storytelling is in this game. Oh, but Adam, you can look at the item descriptions and stuff like... There were plenty of times that my invisible maiden who gave me the horse was supposed to talk to me, and I didn't even see it on the screen. Now that's on me, but there were several key cutscenes or conversations that I missed because I didn't see it. And that's gonna be the end. Conclusion for me is it's a great, fantastic game. It's totally awesome. They did a beautiful job. It does have its faults and issues, but honestly, for their first open world game, It's great. Do I think it's a 10 out of 10? No. No, it's not. I think it's more a solid 8 out of 10. It has some issues and some stuff that could be fixed. But honestly, it is a great game. And if you love action RPGs with wide variety of things and a little bit of a challenge, then this game's for you. And if you're a FromSoft fan and you're on the fence about buying this and you've played all the other games, then yeah, get it. Go right ahead. Especially if you can get it on sale, go right ahead. Yep. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And if you would, leave this video a like, leave a comment of your favorite FromSoft title and why. And as always, have a great one.